Welcome to part number 7 on how to sustainably conquer binge eating. Today, I really want to talk about prioritizing your health. Conquering binge eating is not just about being able to eat the foods that you want without feeling guilty, without overeating, without binging. That's not just it. That's especially not what I support my clients with. I want you to become the healthiest version of yourself. I know you care about your health. And sometimes it's the most frustrating thing when you love eating healthy, you love working out, you're on point with your habits, but what often happens is as soon as you feel like you want to turn up the dial on your health, you want to make better food and lifestyle choices, you feel restricted or you fear feeling restricted. You are scared that if you all of a sudden start focusing on your gut health or your hormones or reducing inflammatory foods or just making better, healthier food choices, you feel like you're going to be deprived. And what I will say is this: if you have worked through all of the aspects that I've already talked about, which I support you with inside of Conquer, you will get to a point where you have a solid mindset. You have a healthy relationship with food, and you do not need to fear feeling restricted. Making better food and lifestyle choices is not just about what you're eating. It's not just about what you're eating. It's about, removing toxic products from your household. It's about, moving your body in a way that creates less inflammation. People don't even recognize, there are certain workouts that actually cause so much inflammation in your body. It's having foods like bone broth that support your gut health, so it's being social, right? Health is not just what you eat and how you work out. Health is, connection. It's being social. It's spirituality. There's so many other aspects to health. And if you're just focusing on, I need to be healthier, so I need to change up my food, well, that's really discrediting health, because health is not just what you eat. And you have to remind yourself that you have been putting in the work, you have been healing your relationship with food, and so you do have a solid mindset. You do have a solid foundation. So when you do start making better food and lifestyle choices, it's from a pure place of self-love, from desire. It's like, I want to become the greatest version of myself. I want to live a long life. That's always been my mindset. I don't make better food and lifestyle choices to look a certain way. Yes, of course, I want to look good. I want to feel good. Absolutely. But it's more so, I want to live a long life. I really want to live a long life. I want to be running around with my kids. I want to be able to climb a mountain without feeling out of breath. I want to go to my doctors, and when I do blood work, they're like, yep, all of your health markers are in check. I want that. I desire that. So that's why I prioritize my health at a very high level. And I never feel restricted because I've done the work to eliminate my urges, to stop the mindless snacking, to heal my body image, everything that I shared with you up until this point. And this is also where my clients are able to make better food and lifestyle choices as well too, without feeling restricted, because they have a solid mindset. They've worked with me through all the other parts. So you get to feel amazing in your own skin. You get to have high energy, feel less bloated, have less digestive issues. And when you are able to see it from the lens of desire, I want to do this for myself. I want to do this for my family. I don't need to. I'm not forcing myself. I'm not saying now all of a sudden you can't eat these foods and you can't eat these foods. But it's I'm just going to make healthier alternatives. I'm going to make small shifts because I want to feel better. When you have, if you were to say to yourself, okay, don't eat this food because you need to change your body, that is very different than this food honestly makes me pretty bloated, so I'm not going to have as much as that food. Or I'm going to have a different alternative because I don't want to wake up feeling bloated. Ooh, these foods really give me energy. Ooh, these foods really make my skin very clear. I feel so much better eating them. That is very different than, nope, can't eat that food because you got to change your body. Oh, no, can't eat that food because it has too much sugar. I was actually just talking to a client and I said, the worst thing that you can do is stress over food. So if you're stressing over but this food has more sugar or whatever it is, that's more unhealthy than just eating it. I always say, if you're going to be worried about eating the cookie, just have the freaking cookie, So it's not about removing all inflammatory foods out of your diet. It's not about, making these drastic changes. It's about what's going to make me feel the best and understanding the foods that are inflammatory for you. The foods that are inflammatory for you, because it's not just sugar and dairy and gluten that might be inflammatory for you. Almonds might cause you inflammation. Spinach might be inflammatory for you. Even a quote unquote healthy food could be inflammatory for your body. Some people literally can't do spinach. Some people can't do eggs. Some people literally can't do eggs, and eggs are a very nutritious food. Some people can't do quinoa. It doesn't digest well in their system. So when you also recognize every single person is individualized, it's not just removing foods that you think are quote unquote bad, but it's also other foods that have very high nutrition in them. They might not be best for your body. And this is where it's screw what anyone else is eating. It does not matter. You can follow what this person's eating, but it doesn't make you feel well. That person can be eating spinach and quinoa every single day, and you eat that and you're I feel like crap. Maybe you're breaking out, or your stomach doesn't work well with quinoa or whatever it is, right? So it is so important to work through all the other parts that I talked about so that you can truly become the healthiest version of yourself. So that you can go to the doctors and all of your health markers are in check. So that you can wake up feeling so energized. You're less bloated. You have clearer skin. That gets to be a reality. But you have to work on the mindset piece. You have to remind yourself that you're not going to be restricted, because what you've done in the past isn't what you're going to be doing now. It's from a completely different lens. It's from a completely different mindset. If you think, I'm going to be restricted, you're just thinking about what you used to do in the past, right? You're thinking in the past, I used to remove everything from my diet. Well, then of course you're going to feel restricted. That's not what you're doing when you're doing this from a place of self-love. You're just interesting. Okay. Well, that food bloats me, so maybe I'm going to have less of it. Oh, interesting. That food, makes me break out, so maybe I'm going to have a different alternative. That's from self-love. That's not this need of you need to take everything out of your diet, and you need to do this, you need to do that. It's no. It's always from what's going to make me feel my best. And that's really important. I am so glad that I worked through all the pieces to the puzzle to conquer binge eating, because now it's I just finished, I got blood work done multiple times. And, my doctor's yep, everything looks good. Everything looks good. Everything looks good. I feel really good. Even in this pregnancy, everyone's are you feeling okay? I'm I feel fantastic. I literally feel so good, and I'm blessed and I'm grateful, but I also really take care of myself, and I'm so glad that I've done the work to heal my relationship with food so that I can do some of these things, I can really prioritize my health at a very high level, not just because I'm bringing a baby into the world, but because this is just who I am. This is my life. This is what I desire for myself. I care about what I put in my body. I care about what I feed Andrew. I care. I deeply care. But that does not mean that I feel restricted. I never, ever, ever feel restricted. I never feel restricted. The majority of the times I make treats myself. The majority of the times I say no to dessert when I go out for dinner, but it's I don't want it. It's from a pure place of desire. I want to show up as the best version of myself for Andrew, for my future child, for my clients, for my business. I care about what I put in my body, but it's not from I need to change my body or I need to fix my body. I just literally want to be healthy. I want to be healthy. I really want to take care of myself. And that's why I have meals that are very nutritious. Like I choose to make desserts myself because that's what makes me feel better. I choose to eat plenty of whole foods because that's what makes me feel better. I choose to not eat out all the time. I choose to not have dessert when I go to restaurants sometimes because it's just a choice. It's literally a preference. I'm not forcing myself to. I'm not saying, oh, Lorna, you can't do that. I don't want it. I share this often, but I swear to you, sometimes the treats that I make myself, I prefer than like other places. I love the foods that I eat. I love how I eat. I feel better when I eat this way. And I have a healthy relationship with food. My mindset is solid. So I never overthink. I never feel restricted. I love how I eat. It's not about being perfect, following another set of rules, stressing over what you're eating. Oh, is this going to be inflammatory? Is this going to hurt my gut? Like, it's not about that. It's about what's going to make me feel the best and where is my mindset, So conquering binge eating is, yes, about eliminating your urges, healing your body image, processing your emotions without turning to food, shifting your identity out of binge eating, with all the different parts that I shared, 100%. That is also important. But if you're also the type of person that you're like, I love eating healthy, I want to prioritize my health, I want to be there for my children, I want to live a long life, this is what I support my clients with. Like, this is what I want to help you with. This is what I've done for myself. And I take pride. I honestly take pride in how healthy I am. I take pride in how much I care about my health. My clients come to work with me. They're like, I love working with you because you're not going to tell me to just drink freaking Coke and burgers and chips all day long. Like, I don't even want that. And you don't have to. Like, your health is so important. Your health is literally the most important thing in this world. You can't be thriving on vacation if you're not healthy. You can't be thriving in your job if you're not healthy. You can't be thriving in a relationship if you're not the healthiest version of yourself. So this is also so important, and I take this so seriously. I want to help you conquer binge eating, but I also want you to become the healthiest version of yourself with high energy, amazing digestive health, balanced hormones, so you have stable moods. Like, you're in a good mood. You're not having these crazy mood swings. You're not depressed. You're not anxious. You're not tired all the time. You don't have joint pain. Like, you feel incredible. That is also one piece of the puzzle that is very important to me that I support you with inside of Conquer. I actually have an entire program. It's called Turn Up the Dial on your health and nutrition without messing up your relationship with food. Because so many of my clients have worked through their binging, their overeating, and they're like, okay, well, now I want to make better choices, but I don't want to feel restricted. And I literally created that program because I know that you want to make better food and lifestyle choices, and you want to do it in a way without just taking everything out of your diet and feeling deprived. And so again, that's another piece of the puzzle that's also included inside of Conquer. So this is part number 7. And I will see you inside of part number 8.